well.
Okay, interesting. Valentina being picked up, I think, works good in this situation. For week number 1, TNC still looking to get on the board, of course, and they could start with this if they can take down AP Bren.
Yeah, you know what? I would love to know what the audience thinks right now. I'm going to go through the YouTubes and the Facebooks. I want to know who you think came out on top. Press 1 on the comments if you think TNC has a good chance here with Nomad on the Grok, and press 2 if you think the world champs probably going to close this out.
Okay. Looking at, good pressure here already, though, right? Nomad, though, he might get bullied down quite a bit. This is tough, right? Unfortunately for him, he's going to go down, and Kyle Tease is going to be on that hunt. Just going to take a little bit longer.
Oh, boy.
First blood there.
Kyle Tease didn't even think twice about taking that fight, and giving an additional boost of XP and gold here is going to be huge for the AP Bren jungler.
And the thing is, they weren't able to get a punish for it.
Back into the game here. Once again, they got things situated. It is first blood drawn by AP Bren. We got Turtle coming up here in less than 30 seconds. Some level 4s coming across the board so far as well. So we'll see how they rotate around that first big objective.
Yeah, and because of that kill, obviously Ryzen is going to have to really work hard to make sure he is not underleveled against the opposite jungler, which is Kyle Tease. Obviously, one level, level 4 between level 5, the retribution damage is quite noticeable. Yeah. So, something to really think about here.
But then again, if you are a Joy, you're not that concerned about the first few turtles of the game. You're actually concerned about scaling. So
get that item, right?
Gotta get that item. Gotta get that big dam, as Mr. Narsa would say.
Oh. Well, they're going to be fighting for this right now as they break out.
Yeah, it seems to be. Turtle is going to be missed out on the retribution here. Nomad is the one who takes it up. And there's going to be a huge missile here. Huge movement here for AP Bren. Ooh. They're locking in heads in a very bad position. Forces Nomad with the flicker as well. Ryzen trying to see if he can get some kills on the back of that, but it's a big no from the world champs.
Okay, what's that? So they got the objective. TNC did that. But AP Bren got another kill here. How's that look, though, in terms of, worth it? Hatred trying to keep a few from going back, but how's that look, Wolf?
Well, the fact that they didn't lose as much, like Ryzen didn't die, it was only heads that died in that game. I think that's kind of worth it for TNC because that's extra levels and farm for their jungler. And heads actually utilized the Daytona's welcome just to make sure that Kyle Tease will not be in the picture when it comes to those retry battles. So maybe this is the play now for TNC.
That was actually pretty big, I would say, right? Nomad maximizing the damage from the early game power of nature, basically as powerful almost as a retribution, and depending on the amount of HP the Lord has, or Turtle rather.
Yeah, I like that they at least got something out of that exchange. That was the main thing. Not letting that lead or that kind of confidence, the momentum from AP Bren to continue to build up. At least in this case, you're keeping things relatively even in terms of economy, and that's the best thing you can do right now. TNC has a lot of scaling potential here as well. That's one of the great things. Anytime you have a Novaria, you can kind of rely on that, right? Let's build up, let's scale up. We have vision we can work with. You can also just kind of fire off from the distance.
Oh,
I think Ryzen, he's going to be fine.
Pretty aggressive drive-by here being done by Kyle Tease, and like you mentioned, Ryzen just trying to avoid the fights. He's going exactly what Wolf says, avoiding these fights, just making sure he doesn't die and trying to get that gold. But right now, Kyle Tease, since he already did use the Puissance, is known by TNC. They know that maybe they can try to leverage something here.
Okay, everybody just kind of focused up on this side of the map. Turtle going to be worked on by Kyle Tease, Yasuo, and Nomad. Keeping their eyes here. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, going straight at it. Retribution being activated by Ryzen. He gets it. No fights yet available for this Joy, but that's exactly how TNC wants it.
Great job coming out from TNC, identifying a good opening, and despite CC coming out from Flat TC, just try to zone out Ryzen as well as to kind of force that retribution on the purple. Ryzen kept his cool and actually managed to get the retribution up, and this time they did not lose any of their heroes. Really great identification coming out from TNC.
They look really good right now, man.
Yeah, again, if they can continue to get the objectives for TNC, I feel like at this current part of the game, it's the best you can do, right? Just get these turtles, farm up as best you can, especially for Yasuo here on this Clint pick. He just needs some time to build up, right? Nomad, though, will get whittled down a little bit.
He can't really ignore the damage coming in from a Matilda, but at the same time, you know what? Ryzen, very close by. They know they can kind of just overstep a little bit, just try to get as much resources and maybe eke an advantage for AP Bren. TNC has been doing that over and over again here, slowly but surely.
Bottom lane, heads keeping it together for now, but look at this aggression from AP Bren on this side of the map. Not sure if they still want to continue. They're playing around the mobility that they have, and that's anytime you have a Matilda especially, that's what you're going to expect from these sorts of teams, right? Playing around that kind of the option that they have to get out of sticky situation. Wow.
Huge missile expert there being used by Heads, forces the Purify out of Super Marco. This is so interesting, right? What we're seeing here with AP Bren trying to start these fights, but TNC just not obliging them.
Yeah. And the thing about TNC is that is their win condition. When you're playing this Joy, you really have to look for the late game. And they picked up the Clint. The good thing for Yasuo so far is not being pressured. So he will still be able to output the damage. And we've seen in day one that Clint has great late game, actually.
True.
Weak in the mid game, great in the early game, but late games actually can scale.
Yeah, one combo is going to do some pretty nasty stuff. Forces Flicker out of Nomad again. This time it's going to be Kyle TZ coming out on top. But look at this. Here comes Flap TZ with the additional damage that AP Bren needed to clean up that fight.
So they had an answer this time. AP Bren was like, you know what, Ryzen, you're not going to continue to do that. They catch him out as well on top of securing that turtle. So AP Bren making quite a big play there. How's this playing into the items right now, Wolf, as we get into that 7.5 minute mark?
Well, there is already the War Axe coming out from Mr. Flap TZ. So you saw the damage output that he was able to take out Ryzen. Even obviously Ryzen was low anyways, but he can now threaten for kills.
Pretty nasty stuff right now, but look at that. Nomad's actually taking a lot of that nasty damage coming in from Super Marco, we haven't actually seen much in these fights. So maybe this time around he'll be able to show what these balls are made of.
Well, right now they're on fire. He also
they are on fire.
Yeah, he just also picked up, I believe it was the Berserker's Fury just recently. So this is the point that I'm talking about. We're a minute away from this Lord. AP Bren, you can already see the pressure they're putting on this side of the map of TNC.
Yeah.
They will try to get a pick off if they can, leading into that first Lord here, of course. And right now, for the most part, I mean, they have control of this pace, of what they want to do around the map. TNC getting further behind here. Yes, it's only 2K. It's not anything crazy, but they still can't let that kind of just slide out of the hands here. You know, and that's been the case for TNC for a lot of times. So something has to happen for them here as they try to set up.
Yeah, they're trying to make that happen right now with the Daytona's welcomed. Obviously, Heads going to be left all alone here for the meantime. But look at this. AP Bren, no fear whatsoever. Dives straight up onto the Heads. And Nomad of TNC. Nice barrier there. Slow him down, but nope, you can't really stop him. So mobile this AP Bren lineup is right now. Ryzen on the back, seeing if he can pick up some stragglers here, and he chooses Flap. Damage is not quite there yet.
I said it, guys. There's the Lord coming up. They got their pick off that they wanted, and they're going to go right for the objective here. So TNC knows this as well. I like the fact that they're going to try to at least get some vision here, but they have to be careful. Few holding on to the wild charge himself. And this looks like it could just be a Lord to them.
Yeah, this is such an easy zone here right now for AP Bren. With even Nomad not even lasting that long to the yo-yos. Oh man, this is just way too much damage right now being built up by the bees.
You see what they're trying to do here for AP Bren. The siege is great. It's like a, I don't know, maybe the visualization here is a phalanx, you know?
Yeah.
What was that called?
Spell phalanx.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
But yeah, you know, that traditional war tactic where you build up your shields, then when somebody gets in, you let him through inside your formation. And AP Bren's formation is like that. That's what they did up top during their siege, and that's what they did around the Lord area where they let Ryzen in. And AP Bren, the moment Ryzen showed himself, they just destroyed him with them all going all together.
Yeah, basically like a fly trap, right? Luring in your target, luring in your prey, and making them wish they did actually go in.
Yeah, that's what I love about this lineup right now as they continue to assault the base of TNC, getting some of these shields down. It looks like they're also going to get this top inhibitor turret down as they do. AP Bren still making some work here. Ryzen trying to keep that wave from pushing in. Is he going to be able to get... the wall.
That was a beautiful Guardian barrier here. And so far, so good here. Ryzen's going to go down at least for AP Bren. TNC, they're really struggling here to just survive to the DPS of AP Bren. Rocking up on 7.7K right now.
Whew, I don't think Ryzen felt good about that Guardian's barrier,
That was so good. That was so good. And he's going to be knocking Nomad later for sure after his, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I'm kidding, but that did not fare well for him.
It's tough. Again, all of this in the last couple minutes. An 8K gold lead now. AP Bren, look at the damage on Nomad.
Yeah. They can't tank this much damage, man, at all.
Looking very difficult now because even Head's already committed the flicker play. They don't have the damage, and even Ryzen is not scaled up yet.
Man, Ryzen evaporated there. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, this is
oh
gonna
my
be a tough
goodness.
one. You're going to push it in.
There we go. Possible GG push here. It's a 4v5, and the beautiful engage being started off here by Ogwen and cleaned up very well by the balls of Super Marco. And now the damage is just unbearable here for AP Bren. Clearing it up, waiting for the hits to come into the base and clean it up for game number 1.